You're listening to Chili Dipping, a podcast about golf and stuff, where a collegiate golfer, a high school golfer, and an everyday amateur talk some golf. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Chili Dipping, a podcast where we do not talk about how to make your chili, but where us three morons talk about some golf.
That is true. We don't talk about making chili. How's
The
it
only
going,
chili,
guys?
the only chili here is us chunking shots from the fairway.
Oh yeah, it happened multiple times
100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So everybody, welcome to episode 1, not episode 0, not the intro episode, but episode 1 of the Chili Dipping podcast.
This is the official episode 1.
If you did not listen to our intro episode / episode 0, I'd go listen to that really quickly. If you did not and you're not going to listen to that, that's fine. I'm Nico, and my two co-hosts are Daniel and Cam Katraba.
That's me.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
I think we're all doing good right now.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
So we're just going to get right into it. Last week, or this past episode, we did not talk about golf, and this is the first episode we are going to talk
We're
about
going to talk a lot about golf.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually excited to talk about golf. Last
I
week
would
was
love
fun,
to talk
but
some golf.
some golf talk is always good in my life.
We need
Love
some
golf talk.
So we had a tournament this past weekend that nobody watched, but
No,
Hudson Swagford, as I'm calling him, Hudson
Swagford?
Swagford,
Hudson
dude.
Swafford
Hudson Swagford
Okay.
got the W.
Yeah.
In the Dominican
at
Republic.
the Punta Cana Championship in the Dominican Republic. It is
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana resort
Punta
and
Cana.
something in the Dominican Republic. I would love to know what the coverage numbers were from this past week because I doubt anybody really watched it.
I looked him up. It was 5
Seriously.
people.
No way.
I'm kidding.
No way.
They were all Hudson Swafford's family.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the golf course right now, dude. It's a phenomenal golf course.
Oh, it looks gorgeous,
Dude,
but
it's so
Oh,
sick.
I'm sure it's sick.
it's one of those tournaments where it kind of gets screwed in the schedule. I mean, especially this year, it got screwed in the schedule being the week after the U.S. Open, and it was a sick U.S. Open with some really rough conditions and stuff, and it was a pretty good tournament. I mean, just the week after having that, people are kind of over watching
Plus,
golf because they just
football-
watch golf for 4 days straight.
Football's back.
Football's back.
Football is back.
Stanley Cup Finals. Baseball.
I mean,
Everything's back. So it's like it's not really. Everyone's looking forward to the Masters.
I mean, look at us. I mean, it's been 2 weeks and we're still talking about the U.S. Open. It was a pretty
Right,
sick
exactly.
tournament, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So US Open- Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, I feel like that's all we have to say about the shout out to Hudson Swafford. Great win. Great W.
Yeah, congrats to Hudson Swafford for winning in the Dominican Republic, but we're going to skip you for this week, and we're just going to go right back to the U.S. Open because that was a good golf tournament.
Bryson
Oh, yeah.
DeChambeau. Gigantor
DeChambeau.
himself got the W.
Yes.
Hoisted the trophy. Did you guys see the thing where he was live streaming Fortnite drinking out of the trophy?
I did see that.
That's
That
a
was-
power move.
That was
That is
incredible. That was incredible.
Asserting dominance. That's what that's called.
His
So, I
biceps
don't know-
just, brutal.
Huge biceps. I don't know about you guys. We're going to talk about a little bit about opinions about Bryson right now. I am not a fan. My dad is not a fan. No one in my family is a fan of Bryson DeChambeau. I want to know where you guys stand because he is, whether you like him or not, I think everyone can agree that he is the most polarizing player and he's the most interesting player, but whether you like his personality or not is a different story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's hot or cold with him. Like 1 week, you can't stand the guy because he's like, "Oh, we can't have cameras on us, even though we're the only people on the golf course, and we're supposed to be on TV hitting golf shots, but don't have cameras on us." And then the next week, he's like, just a guy's guy. It's so weird with him. I feel like the whole muscle thing and like him getting thick and everything, like it works. I'm just saying, it obviously
Getting
works. Like you
thick.
can't say it doesn't. The dude won a major. I mean, he kind of speaks for himself at this point.
That's
He looks
true.
fat. He looks fat if you ask me. I don't
Wow.
I see that body walking down the fairway in those shirts, and I don't see someone who's bulked up and huge. I see someone who has put on 30 pounds from drinking too much beer and then just happened to like, push some iron, pump some iron and stuff in his spare time so that his biceps got a little bit bigger. Like that's all I
Right.
see.
But Nico, so you're saying that someone who's chugging beers for 30 days can drive the ball 300 plus yards. Like, what is it, 330, 340 he's averaging or something?
I don't know. John Daly could do it.
Dude.
So
You're saying in a month, the amount of beers is equal to the amount of yards. The
exactly.
350
Oh.
beers
Oh,
is
yeah.
equal to 350 yards.
Exactly. If
Goodness
John Daly can be the longest player on the PGA Tour in his time eating Big Macs and Diet Cokes and cigarettes and beer on a nonstop rotation, then I think Bryson DeChambeau can hit the ball farther, not by working out, but by singing and getting a beer belly.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
yeah. All right.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
polarizing guy. I mean, look, if he wins, what's gonna happen if he wins like 2 more majors in the next like year and a half or so?
His head is going to get huge. I mean, look at it. You see him now, and he's the scientist, you know, he's super methodical in everything he does. And he just goes, and if he's winning, he's hot-headed. I mean, he's talking about himself. He's like, yeah, I'm just doing my thing. You know, I can do this anytime I want. So I feel like that's why a lot of people hate him, is because he's not as humble as he probably should be.
Do you guys think we're gonna see? Do you guys think that this is another Tiger Woods style thing where like they change
Nope.
the game of golf,
No.
where like
Nope.
everyone starts
Nope.
poking up and hitting bombs, or is it just
No.
like a freak thing that this guy's a freak
No,
athlete and
he-
it works, but it doesn't work for everyone?
He went above and beyond.
I think it's for sure a freak thing. I don't think that, I mean, I would imagine that someone else is going to try it, but I don't think that they're going to have as much success as him. I think he kind of was a freak thing. But the reason I think that people don't like him in general is because it's all super fake. And I think we all saw that with the incident with the cameraman a couple weeks ago, a month
Yeah.
ago, however long that was, because it was all, you know, his reason for that was all, oh, I want to protect my brand. Well, your brand should be you. Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be, it should either be you, or you should be so in tune with your brand that you just never go off that script. I mean, I look at guys like Rory McIlroy, who's one of my favorite players in the PGA Tour, and it seems like his brand is basically just him. And whether that's true or not, he plays into his brand if it's a fake thing, like all the time, and he never breaks from that. So to me, I think that'd be really tough to keep up for, you know, an entire week at a PGA Tour event. I just think that's who guys like Rory are, and with Bryson, it just all feels super fake.
Well, the thing about
Yeah.
Rory is his quote unquote brand is just being authentic. Like
Exactly.
You watch
I
him-
mean,
Right? Yeah.
if you watch him in the media rooms or in random interviews or whatever, like he's always the same. That's why
And-
I think we all like love Rory. We're all
oh yeah,
he's my
huge
favorite
Rory guy.
golfer. I mean,
Yeah.
he's unbelievable, but like he's so authentic. It's just that's
100%.
who he is.
That's
That's true.
100%.
I mean, and then also on the way of changing the game, you can see like the way he's eating, that can't be healthy, man. He's like doing what, 6 protein shakes a day?
One
I
in the
mean, you
morning,
really-
one with dinner, and then I think it's like 2 on the
It's
golf
like
course.
2. It's like 2 on the golf course, and then with dinner, it's like another one. So
It's at least 4, but I think it's actually 6. I don't
think
know
you're
where
right.
the other ones are, but I think it's 6. It's at least 4
Right.
though.
I know where they
I
are.
mean-
In his belly.
Yeah, exactly.
for real, I mean, you saw him eating his championship dinner after the U.S. Open. He wasn't, drinking water. He wasn't drinking Gatorade. He wasn't drinking a beer. This dude had a protein shake in his hand. I wouldn't be
Right.
surprised if on his Twitch stream he just poured in a bunch of protein shakes into that trophy.
That's probably what he was drinking. I mean, I was not watching that Twitch stream. I saw it on Instagram yesterday or whatever that was. But I mean, all it was is him drinking out of the U.S. Open trophy. I would guarantee that was just his 6 protein shakes of the day that he was just drinking out of that. He was keeping it.
Oh, yeah.
He was keeping the whole trophy in the fridge, and then he was just drinking it throughout the day.
Slinging them back, bro.
Slinging
Yeah.
it back.
That's crazy. I mean,
Another
all right.
guy who's, very polarizing and started the week pretty hot is Patrick Reed. I mean, he was.
I
Patrick-
couldn't tell.
he was up there.
I cannot tell you a person that my entire college golf team sat in one room watching the U.S. Open saying, if this guy wins, I'm going to blow my head off. Like,
Public
all of
enemy
us-
number 1.
all of us
I
were
love
sitting
that.
there and collectively were saying to ourselves, I do not want Patrick Reed to win. I just don't like Patrick Reed. I think his brand is kind of cool of the enemy, but he's also Captain America because he's sick in Ryder Cups type thing.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Patrick Reed outside of like the Captain America and the Ryder Cup type thing.
I'm with you on that, man. All the way. I mean, just public. I said it before. Public enemy number one.
Yeah.
You either
Public enemy
hate him.
number one.
You either hate him or you love him.
I would
Right.
say he's actually public enemy number 2 because I think public enemy number 1 to the United States is Ian Poulter.
Yes,
Oh.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So in
Across
terms of the United
stage.
States, he's public enemy number 2, but I think in terms of the rest of the world, he's public enemy.
He's public enemy number 1, especially for Europeans. They probably hate the guy.
Probably.
Oh,
100%.
He
for
is.
sure.
I feel like he kind of is America. Like, you know what I mean?
If you want to talk about America, bro.
Captain America. No, I love America.
No. If you
but-
want to talk about America and golf, it's definitely John Daly. This dude's
Oh,
drinking.
100%.
that's true. But
You've seen him wearing
now,
his
like,
American flag pants. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the
true.
loudmouth
That's
pants.
crazy.
but like, if you think about how the rest of the world views America, like if you watch like Top Gear, the guys are like those silly Americans. Like, I feel like they see Patrick Reed when they say that. Because
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't give a heck. He goes out. He's got the big helicopter cut thing.
Oh.
He's kind of a rogue guy. I'm
Yeah.
starting to jump
Yeah,
on the Patrick Reed train. I'm not fully on. I am driving to the station. Okay, I'm very
You're driving-
skeptical, but I'm driving to the train station for Patrick Reed.
Okay, so
I-
we're talking a lot of hate. What do you like about Patrick Reed?
I
Yeah,
like.
that's
You're
true. What-
driving
what-
to the station, Cam.
Well,
What do
I
we
will
like
say-
about Patrick Reed?
I was surprised because on TV he looks like he looks like a walrus out there. I mean, it's bad. But when we
In
saw
person,
him at
he
Riv-
is actually not super huge.
no,
That's true.
he's like
we
a
we
pretty
realize
good looking
that.
dude. It's crazy. Well,
Yeah,
okay, not good looking
he's-
might be too far, but
I mean,
Okay, Cam.
he's not in person. He's not skinny, but he's not as. I mean, it's the classic. Oh, the camera ain't
Yeah.
adds 10 pounds. I mean, that's
it was the same
true
thing
for
with
Patrick Reed.
Phil before he got swole. Like he looked
yeah, I
way
would
bigger on
agree with
TV,
that.
and then I remember the first time we saw him at Riv like 2 years ago, he was like slim and ready to rock. I don't know. I love the Captain America thing in the Ryder Cup. How can you not love that? And the tough thing is like his personality stuff, like the story with his family and all that. Like you can't quote unquote root for that. But who he is on the golf course, I actually am starting to like the big cuts, just walking around as Captain America. I need more reasons to like him, but I'm slowly getting into the car to drive to the train station.
Right. I mean, he's on the PGA Tour. He's making leaderboards. Everybody knows who he is, whether it's because he's playing bad or nobody likes him. I mean, what are you going to say?
Yeah.
He's another one of those very polarizing guys who a lot of people love him and a lot of people just don't love him. And I mean, Cam, you're on the road to liking Patrick Reed.
I'm
I am
walking
not-
in the driveway to the car to get on the road to go to the train station on Patrick Reed.
I love how every time you say that you're on the road, you just get farther back on the trip to the train station. It's just like,
true.
I'm pulling into
It's
the parking
true.
lot of the train station. I'm on the road to the train station.
Yeah.
I'm like at the doorway to get into my driveway to get on the road to get to the parking lot of the train station.
It is,
Like,
especially
yeah.
with Justine. It's an uphill battle for him, but
Justine Reed, man.
That-
it's an uphill battle. But I think
I-
there may be a future where I end up liking Patrick Reed.
I'm very curious. I would be very curious to see if Justine Reed wasn't in the picture, how much we liked Patrick Reed. Because
That's
I
true.
definitely think she plays a factor.
She's
Absolutely.
very controlling.
A podcast that we will remain nameless, that we listen to, has discussed in length Justine Reed, and I think we all agree with their opinions about Justine Reed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just don't. She's very, very. She's just a piece of work, man. I just.
She's
don't,
terrifying.
I'd be very
yeah.
curious to see, if she wasn't in Patrick Reed's life and he still had the same, ability of golf, which I imagine he would, because I don't really think she did anything for him in the, golf game wise. If we would actually enjoy Patrick Reed more than we do or don't now.
She feels like a character from Tiger King. That like, like
Oh yeah.
like
Solid.
the
Oh, yeah.
crazy outfits, the crazy person allegedly, and like maybe not like Carol Baskin or someone like hardcore who you just hate who's totally crazy, but someone kind of on the fringes.
Oh yeah. She's borderline
He's like that
crazy
kind of
for
person.
sure.
Now to go off of just dogging a few players. Not to dog. I mean, we respect them. Who would you have picked to win the U.S. Open? Like, if
I
you
would have
had your
loved to
pick,
see
want to
JT
see it.
win. I would have loved to see Justin Thomas win it.
Cam,
hmm
what's your pick?
I go Victor Hovland because my family is kind of like Norwegian and stuff. That's why I'm super white. And like, he's just so cool. I love his swing. I love the way he plays. He just hits bombs. He's such a cool personality. Like, he's such a young, cool guy that I would totally want to just hang out with.
Oh yeah.
I love Victor Hovland.
If we're talking about young guys who we'd love to hang out with, Colin Morikawa, dude. That would
that's
have
a
been
good pick.
sick. Getting close to he finished second in the first event back, and then wins the first major.
He won
Right,
the
loses
birthday.
loses in a playoff at Colonial the first week back, then goes and a couple of weeks later wins at the workday at Muirfield Village against JT in that epic playoff, and then winning the
That was a
first
crazy
major
playoff.
back after the quarantine and stuff. I mean, it was incredible. It's just
Dude,
I would have liked to
he's-
see him win or somewhere at the top of the leaderboard instead of missing the cut by a shot. But I mean, I think we all agree on that.
I mean,
Absolutely.
he was on tour 14 months ago. He's definitely somebody every young guy is looking up to right now.
He's 23 years old.
100%.
It's ridiculous
100%.
to see what he's doing and how much swagger he has and how like mature and relaxed he is even with the media. Like, he's unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
And a SoCal. Wait, no,
SoCal
I'm an
boy.
idiot. Wait, is he a SoCal
Yes.
boy?
Yeah, he went
Yeah,
to.
he worked with like Rick.
He's
and
from
stuff.
he's from like La
La
Crescenta
Crescenta.
Valley.
He also won a junior event, a high school event at the golf course that we work at, our home course, DeBell Golf.
Oh,
Club.
yeah.
Shot 69.
I
Said, quote,
didn't even know
tough
that.
golf course, lots of dog legs.
Yeah,
That is very accurate to DeBell.
That's true.
Oh, yeah. dude. All right, let's talk. If
so
we're talking courses,
for any listener who has not played DeBell Golf Club, you should go play. But fair warning, there's only 3 holes in the front 9 where you can see the green from the tee. Every hole is a dog leg, and you have to hit an iron off the tee, basically.
It's like
Back
7
nine
iron on most tee boxes.
Back 9 is a little bit straighter, but it's still very tight, so you're still hitting irons and 3 woods off the tee, because if you hit driver more than like 5 yards offline, you feel like you're going to go OB.
oh yeah, I mean you got to hit it straight. You got tree lined everywhere. You're hitting. You have mountain on the right, and sometimes barrancas running across the whole course. It's a tough course.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of
It's
tough
tough, but it's
courses,
fun.
Speaking of tough courses, Wingfoot tore everybody apart.
The fact that Bryson DeChambeau finished 6 under par was
That's
incredible
insane,
to me.
dude.
And won by 6 shots.
He won by 6 shots. I loved the fact that the head superintendent at Wingfoot was supposedly like heated, super pissed off at the USGA for whatever they did setting up the course for Thursday, that people actually shot under par.
I don't blame him, man.
I would be too. They
mean,
were talking it up.
everybody was hyping it up, saying nobody's gonna finish under. I mean, it was crazy, bro. I mean, reading some of these quotes from the guys after playing their first, second rounds, JT goes and he says, and I quote, "I want to break everything in sight right now." So golf is the last thing on my mind.
Right. I mean,
everybody
I think
can relate to that.
JT and Tiger played a practice round there a couple weeks before the U.S. Open, and I think it was after that someone asked, and JT said that was like the hardest golf course he had ever played. So I mean, having that guy who I don't know what his world ranking, somewhere in the top 3 right now. Having some of the top 3 say it's the hardest golf course you've ever played. I fully expected to have a U.S. Open that had like 8 or 9 over par be the final score, not one guy at 6 under who won by 6.
I was expecting 2 or 3 over to be
100%.
winning, and then a couple, like maybe second place at 5 or 6, honestly. But I mean, one guy under par is pretty great though, and for how he played, he deserved it. Speaking of how he
definitely.
played, how are we all playing right now? How's everyone's game feeling?
Nico, wanna start it off?
My game is pretty good right now. A couple of things I'm trying to clean up, working on the driving range, some just standard ball striking issues. I'm a 0.5 handicap right now. I probably haven't put in a score in a while, but last time I checked, I was a 0.5. Yeah, I mean, it's just I'm driving the ball pretty good right now, hitting a lot of fairways, and it's just getting the iron shots a little bit closer. My putting is outrageously good right now. I
Nice.
I roll the rock better than anybody in my team, and it's not even close. Like it's just I roll the rock and I make putts. Today I played a putting game with two of my teammates, and through this is a putting game called 11. You guys know what game that
Of
is.
course.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Through four holes, I was playing with two of my teammates. Through four holes, I was up 6-0-0.
Holy
Oh,
cow.
dusting them, bro.
Yeah.
Love to hear that.
Dusting,
Oh yeah.
dusting. So yeah, my game is in pretty good shape right now, but yeah, still always trying to clean stuff up. We're not in season right now. Our season doesn't start until spring, so I got some time to work on it a little bit and get it in shape for competition season.
You can always get better.
Oh yeah.
How about you boys? How are your games?
Daniel,
I have not seen either of you play golf since like March.
Oh,
So
you
bro, it's
played
been
today?
forever. I played
How you
today.
feeling?
Ball striking's pretty good. I've been working on compression a little bit, so just trying to get that ball, like ball flight's getting lower, loving it a little bit farther, so loving the look of that. Working on driver a little bit, just picked up the new Epic Flash, love it. I mean,
sick.
I hit it pure and ball goes a mile. Sound is amazing, it's just so smooth. But just something you got to get used to. Putting has been pretty on point. I had a bunch of one putts today, and no free ads, but I picked up the perfect putting mat
It's so good.
2 weeks ago. It's so pure. I mean,
It's amazing.
my confidence on putts has gone up so much just being able to practice that half an hour a day.
Oh yeah. Even especially with if you hadn't seen it, Google it. It's got the little roller thing at the end where it goes uphill a little bit. So you hit the putts. Like if you have a 5-footer, you'd hit it like 5.5 feet. So it
Yeah.
gets there. It's killer, man.
It's
It is awesome.
it's a great piece of equipment to have.
Yeah.
Short game has been on point, just putting everything like wedges. I don't know. Today I went off, putting everything within 5 feet. I hold out from with like 60-degree, kind of just stuck it right in and kind of trickled into the hole today. So it was pretty sick.
Attaboy.
I will say this. Since being here in Oklahoma, it's a little bit different grass here. So
Yeah.
around the greens is a little bit firmer. I've developed a new short game shot.
Really?
My short game has always been fairly decent, never fantastic, but never really bad. I developed a
Yeah.
new shot, and now my short game's pretty
Golf.
good. But it's one of those shots, 60-degree. You go fly it like 90% of the way the hole, takes a hop, and just stops on a dime right next to the flag.
Oh,
I have developed that shot, and I play it from everywhere now. I have pitched in from inside of 30 yards at least 3 times just using that shot to like short-sided pins.
We play with a guy,
yeah.
Coleman, who his short game is so good, but he hits a lot of those little low chips that look like they're 15 feet past the hole, and then they just stop. I'd love to have that shot,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's pure. He got a lesson with George Gankis, so we always make fun of him because he does the little turn thing before like every shot, and it looks hilarious, and then he just pures it. So.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cam?
So
How you
I
hitting
have
it?
been.
We're
hot and
gonna
cold.
we're gonna get into a little bit of Cam talk, but I also want to bleed this into some golf stories. Cam has a golf story about hitting a pin on the wrong hole
That's correct.
off the
Yeah,
tee
so-
at DeBell. So
Yeah.
Cam, talk a little bit about how your game is, but quickly get into
Yeah.
how you hit the wrong pin off the tee.
I guess that's hand in
on a
hand
hole of
with
golf.
with how interesting my game is right now. So I had like a hot streak where I was like 78, 78, 77, 76, 79. I had like a hot streak for like 2 weeks where I was just lights out. And then I mean this kind of we'll talk about the putter situation later. But then my dad came down for the weekend and we played a bunch, and I went 79 Saturday, 87 Sunday at the same
Sick.
golf course. And
Yeah.
Sick.
I shot 85 the next day, and capped it out with an 83 at a different golf course. So it's a mess slightly. I'm up to a 7.4 right now, I believe. Let me check my
That's not too bad.
grade
boy,
here.
not bad.
7.4, which is pretty good. The lowest I've ever been is 5.9, but that was for like a 3-week span where I had like 3 amazing rounds, and then I got back into my normal self. But ball striking's pretty good. Wedge game could be better. Driver, I actually brought my driver down to 7 degrees because I was hitting it way too high. And it's actually, I was kind of struggling with it the other day, but then because I was hitting cuts, like way too many cuts.
Yeah.
And then I started
What's wrong with the
striping it
cut?
on like 14. No, it was too much though. I was like way. It was like a 30-yard cut, basically a slice.
It was a slice.
Yeah.
It was a slice.
Yeah.
That's a slice.
So it was
Yeah.
rough, but then I kind of pulled it together on like 14 and I started just striping it. So it's a little getting used to. The big thing that I need to get used to is my putting because I switched putters. I got putting lessons with our guy Brandon Amir Keezy, amazing putting coach. I need to get another one soon with him because he's awesome.
I've been working with Brennan for a while, a little bit longer than you. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Amir Keezy.
I don't even have his.
I
don't even have his last name in my phone because I just refer to him as Brennan. I just can't. That last name is so complicated for me. I just don't even try. I think
it's Amir Keezy, but he's the man. So I got putting lessons, and it was super fair. I had the Odyssey, the one with the fangs on the back, and I was lining up like so far right, and he was like, "Dude," or no, I was lining up so far left. He's like, "Dude, that's why you're missing all these putts. You have to line up right." And the face looked so open. Then at the end of my lesson, we figured out that I was left eye, right hand dominant, which like jacked up my alignment. So he was like, "Yeah, you need a new putter. Go get a center shafted putter." So I went and I got fit and I got a Bettinardi. That was, I think, $450. I want to say it was ridiculously expensive. But
you bought a $450 putter and you've now switched putters.
I've now switched putters to a $35 putter that I bought secondhand from one of my buddies. It is a TP Mills Mizuno putter from like the 90s. And this thing is unbelievable.
Dude, that's
I cannot miss.
That's how I thought when he first showed it to me. I was like, Mizuno, since when did they start making putters?
That's also what I thought. But apparently like TP Mills and Mizuno, I looked it up and TP Mills was like an old school putter. He was like Bob Bettinardi and Scotty Cameron and all those guys like back in the day. This thing is unbelievable. It's like a really like thin blade and it sets up so nice. And I am obsessed with this putter. It's great, but it's funny because it goes to show like you could buy the most expensive stuff, but what works for you is key. Like,
oh yeah,
I am shook. I'm shooketh. But the putting's been pretty good lately. I'm still getting used to it. It's weird having a blade because like I've had mallets pretty much my whole time playing golf, and my last one was like a mid mallet blade thing. It was a blade, but it had a little bit of extra back on it.
The double stacked.
It was the Matt Kuchar putter, basically.
Yeah.
You had a wide blade that had 2 little bumpers on the toe.
The look was just I didn't feel confident.
It was fat.
It was a little fat for me. I got tired of it over the time. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a backup just in case. Screw it. It's $35. And I ended up falling in love with this thing. And then I convinced Daniel. Then Daniel pulls out like this ancient Golden Bear putter from back in the day, and he starts draining putts.
I mean,
did you regrip that thing?
No, I mean,
regrip that.
Which one?
Your Golden Bear.
No, that was okay. So that was my dad's first putter.
It has a nasty grip on it. You just need to regrip that thing and it'll be pure.
Oh yeah.
He got his like set from Costco when Golden Bear like had a thing with Kirkland. It was sick. I mean,
shout out Costco.
Costco, man, gotta love him. I found a picture a couple months ago of him just like having the box. It was so funny. But putters, I feel like technology with putters hasn't really changed
because it hasn't.
Because it hasn't. I mean, it's
the only technology with putters that has come out is the TaylorMade pure roll face thing, and that does nothing. It's just a face. It just has grooves.
Yeah, it's the inserts for all the new putters.
Just different inserts. But I mean, you can't do a putter is a putter. It has a flat face and it has 3 degrees of loft.
Who's the super old guy who plays on the Champions Tour who wins all of them? Steve.
All of them.
Stricker.
So Stricker, I was reading like a
Stricker.
putting book a while ago, and he was saying how he's like had the same putter for like a long, long, long time, and it's like this sick, like
Oh, yeah.
old blade. And that was one thing that inspired me.
Scotty.
I was like, yeah, I was like, man, I kind of want to like see how it is to like have like an old putter and have a story
Oh,
behind
yeah.
it. And it's a life changing thing. So this
I mean-
this 16 pin thing. So the 18th tee.
Well, okay. Before we say
Yeah.
that, talking about Stricker, talking about putters that he's had for a long, long time. That was my thing. I got a Scotty Cameron putter. I got fit for a Scotty Cameron putter my freshman year of high school. I've had that thing, and I'm never gonna let go of that thing. I mean, that's my baby.
Yeah.
I'm just
Scotties
never gonna
are
get rid of it.
School
You know,
bus
I'm
yellow.
gonna use that. I'm gonna use that. It's not school
No
bus
longer.
yellow
I know
anymore.
you showed me. Now it's RSU
No
colors.
longer.
But
Now it's RSU
It's sick.
colors, but
Did your own custom
mean,
little
I
paint
did.
job?
I did the custom paint job myself, which was a fun hobby of mine during quarantine because I needed something to do. But yeah, I mean, that's just. I mean, I got that putter with the full intention of just it being my putter that I would never ever get rid of because I love it so much.
yeah. So this 16 pin thing that we have on our
Yeah,
our
please
tee.
tell me.
So the 18th hole, the 18th tee is set up so the fairway goes down the left side of the 16th hole. The green
And
on
it's a
16 is,
it's a bit of a dogleg left, and if you go straight down the fairway of
Yeah.
18, it actually kind of runs into the 16th green. There's some
Yeah.
trees and a hill in the way, but it's kind of right there.
yeah.
I
So
mean, it's
hit-
pretty hard to hit that 16 green. You
I
have a
hit-
huge tree covering
it's hard
it.
It's
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to hit the 16th green, but if you did hit it dead straight off the 18th tee box and didn't take the dogleg, you would hit the
Yeah.
16th green.
Oh yeah.
Which is what happened. So I hit this big ol' huge push. It was horrific. I hit it so high. It was ripped. It was just the wrong direction, as you know. That's life. But
Oh yeah.
so I hit this bomb,
That's
and then we're
golf.
like, I'm waiting for it to hit a tree or something. I'm waiting for the sound, and I hear the sound of the flag.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
Oh my
I was
god!
tracking it the whole way. I was tracking because we played together. I was tracking it
Yeah.
the whole way. I'm like, oh,
Golf.
that's going towards the green, and you know, there's a huge tree. So I'm like, all right, it's gonna hit a branch. It'll hit something. It'll
Yeah.
fall, and then you hear that little high pitched little plastic sound,
Yeah.
and I kind of look at him and I go, bro, I think that was the pin. That was so funny.
It was totally the pin, and the ball was like it was a little short of the green, but it had to. I mean, I don't know what else would have made that sound. Honestly, it was crazy.
Oh yeah.
So
It
I
was
hit the
hilarious.
pin on the wrong hole, which is
So did
most
you
2020
make par? Did you make par?
I think I actually ended up saving bogey to extend the match.
That's
No.
disappointing.
Wait,
No,
you know what?
we
no.
won.
Okay, this is the. Oh yeah. Okay, so I actually did make par because I hit it directly through the trees. Like I ripped 7-iron
Yes.
right.
Yeah,
through
you
the
made par.
And then I was just a little short, so I hit this little nippy chip, and it kind of stopped at like 6, 7, 8 feet, and then it was a putt off between Daniel's dad and me to extend the match and go to playoff.
Yes.
I step up, drain it. Biggest fist bump of all time, and then he steps up. It trickles just barely into the hole, extend the
Dude,
match to
It was
go,
crazy.
to go to a playoff, and it was
That match.
That's
it was insane.
that is what I love to hear.
It's
Yeah,
what we
so-
live for, man. It was killer.
You know, adding
who-
a little
so-
bit of competition to your game, even if you don't have to play for money. I mean, last couple weeks ago, we did loser had to do 50 push-ups. It just makes it so much better when you're playing with your guys and you're like, let's play for something. Doesn't matter what it is.
I'm known as the guy who doesn't bet money on golf at all. But I'm fine with that because, like, I don't want to bet on my game.
I've never bet money on my game, bro.
No. I mean, even if it's like
Yeah,
a dollar,
I
I'm
have.
like, nope, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
I did once, and it was with Nico, and I said I'm never doing this again.
Oh, Nico, you
I
broke
don't
him.
remember. I don't
It was
remember this, but I feel
at
like
Balboa.
I smoked you that day.
It was at Balboa
At
on the
Balboa.
back nine, and you were like, "Let's play for $10," and I'll give you 3 or 4 strokes, and I was like, "Sure." And then as soon as I accepted that, I was like, "I'm never doing this again."
I do remember that now. I absolutely smoked you on the back nine.
Yeah,
I probably
That's
shot
so
even
funny.
par on the back nine, and
I
you
think
were
I was 3
probably
or
10
4
over.
over. I think I was 3 or 4 over that day because I was like getting ready for a
I
tournament.
think you were. No, I think you were like 3 or 4 over me giving you 3 shots.
I can't remember. It was so long.
Damn.
I gave you 3 shots. I mean, you were at least. I mean, if it's a par 36, I shot even par. I'm pretty sure I shot even par. I think you had to have shot at least 42 because I gave you 3 shots and I beat you.
I feel like it was a 40. I feel like it was a 40.
I beat you by 3 at least.
Yeah, I think it was 40 because I sucked that day. I was in like a really bad stump. It's slump, not stump. Stump is the bottom of the tree. Slump.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what's going on, man. So one more thing today. I mean, this kind of wraps into our next segment, but today our guy Phil, the marshal, one of the marshals, one of my favorite guys there. He rolls in after his round, and he's like, "Dang it, I can't break 80. It's not happening. I can never do it." He's like, "I shot 80 today, and I 4-putted on the 12th hole." And it's pure pain. So he shows me his scorecard, and it's 37-38. I'm like, man, you played really good. That sucks, man. And I was so exhausted. I didn't do the math. I just didn't question. I was like, whatever. So then he texted me like 2 hours later, and he goes, bro, I'm such an idiot. 37-38 is 75. I shot 75 today. Unbelievable.
Wow.
I was like, no way. So
I just did that math in my head, and I was like, that's a 7. That's less than 80.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's less than 80.
I was just so exhausted. I didn't even do it. I was just funny. Like, yeah, that sucks. But I
mean, I'm no mathematician, but I am a college student, and I'm pretty sure I could do 38 plus 37, and that was 75.
You should be able to.
I would hope so, bro.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into a weekly segment we're gonna have. It's called Tales from the Cart Barn. We have either we've all worked at golf courses. Daniel and I are currently working at a golf course. If you didn't know already from the introduction episode where we said it like 17 times.
We work at a cart barn.
Yeah, we work at a golf course.
They work at a golf course. I used to work at the golf course. The golf course is called the Bell Golf Club. It's in Burbank, California. You should go play there because it's an awesome golf course.
Absolutely. So, Daniel, you said you wanted to make a clarification today when we were chatting because I worked today.
Clarification.
Please take the floor.
Definitely. Okay, so if you listen to the first intro episode, we talked about tipping your cart guys and how you should do it. But I don't want to sound like, oh, hey, you have to give us your money, because that's not at all what we're saying.
Or as if it's expected.
No. Right.
Like
it's
at a restaurant
not
for
expected.
a waiter, it is not expected. It is very much appreciated.
Exactly.
You do not have to tip us. We don't clean your clubs.
We get it. Yeah, we
get it.
But it's, if you can, greatly appreciated. It lighten up anybody's day. Doesn't matter what golf course you are.
I mean, my shift when I worked there, I worked a lot of Saturday morning opening shifts for the last couple of years that I worked there. And there's a member of the men's club, and every time that they would come in after they would tee off at 8:30 on a Saturday, it's towards the end of my shift, and there was always one guy who would usually go and he'd hand me a $5 bill, and I didn't want to say I knew it was coming, but every time I'd see his cart pull up, I kind of not expected, but I kind of I could tell that he was getting ready. He was pulling out his wallet, getting a $5 bill out. He came, shook my hand, gave me a $5 bill, and it was something that I always appreciated, because although I kind of knew it was coming, just nobody else did it. It was something that that $5 bought my breakfast burrito on Friday morning or something. It was just a little thing, little gesture that just showed that they cared that I was cleaning up the trash out of their cart.
Or
it doesn't even have to be $5,
just
dude.
$1, man.
I see
really
$1 or
cool.
$2.
So good.
I'm just like, $2. Yeah.
It feels so good, but it's not expected. I don't want it to.
Not at
Dana and I
all.
were talking about this earlier. We don't want to expect ooh, we need tips, but because we're not waiters or
right,
cleaning your car or something.
We get it,
but it's
that's another thing. All right, interacting with guys.
The trick that I do love that guys do when they do tip is, I don't know, I always, and you're supposed to, I always took the scorecard off the cart to make sure that no one had written in it and stuff. I always love the move when someone slides a couple of bucks underneath the scorecard on the steering wheel. So you pull out the scorecard and you just see $2 there, and you're surprised. You're like, oh my god!
You're like, oh yeah,
exactly.
That's the best.
It's
that's a professional tipper move.
They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's all about interaction with your customer, right? Anywhere you worked, you want to have a great, friendly environment with your customer. what is your guy, or Nico, what was your icebreaker to kind of get a conversation flowing after somebody's round? Because I feel like that's kind of like the awkward stage where like you look at them and either like you're just like standing there waiting for him to pull his stuff off. Like, what is your go-to line? Because I've kind of just stuck with, "Hey guys, how'd your round go?" And you're getting two or three, like one or two answers. It's either, it wasn't my day, putts weren't
Oh,
dropping.
terrible. I'm never playing golf again. Keep my clubs. Let him on
Oh,
fire.
yeah.
I'm out of here.
That's happened before too.
Or it's
you're
like,
getting,
round of
man,
my
shot the
life.
round. Yeah. I mean, played amazing, dropping putts left and right. Round of my life. So, like, what's kind of your go-to icebreaker?
So my go-to whenever someone would pull up to a car, I had a couple of different ones. It would either be like a "How y'all doing" or something. It would be a how'd the round go? How'd you like the course? If I had happened to know, if I was in the pro shop when they came in and I knew that it was their first round at DeBell, I would, if I recognized them, I'd say, "Oh, how'd you enjoy the golf course" or something. If it was during football season, a lot of guys will come out. They might have their team bag or something like that. You know, if it's the Vikings, it's like, "Oh, Vikings are playing the primetime game or something like how you think they look against the Packers, whatever it was." So, it was always something that I always tried to engage in conversation with them because one, I knew that they appreciated that. I'm a representative of the golf course. If they see me being nice to them, they're probably going to want to come back. Also, if you're nice to them and you're engaging conversation, again, a little bit more opportunity for them to give you a couple of bucks.
Or come back, recommend it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, glad to see you guys out here. Or
I would like to say live on this podcast, I would like to congrats the Tampa Bay Lightning for winning the Stanley Cup Finals.
Did they?
They did.
Wow,
yep.
I just got that notification as well. Big congratulations.
I'm watching.
Oh, yeah.
I'm watching right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Dallas Stars 2-0 in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup
Thank
Finals.
goodness the Stars lost. I hate the Stars so much. I'm wearing my Knights hoodie. You're obviously listening to this. I'm wearing my Golden Knights hoodie, and I'm just so salty, and I'm so glad that Tampa beat Dallas. I can't.
You see, I am kind of the opposite of what you're thinking is right now when it comes to when my team loses in the playoffs. I would rather have the team that my team loses to win, because then I can say later, my team lost to the team that won the championship.
Yeah, that's it. They
deserve
it.
So the Bruins lost to the Lightning, so I can say, "Oh, we lost to the team that won that year." So, we could have won if we beat them or something, we just lost to the team that won.
Dallas absolutely deserved to beat the Knights this year. The wheels came off in that series. They looked like a wagon. They looked like the Blues from last year. They looked destined to win the cup, and then they ran into the buzzsaw that is Tampa with Vasilevsky and all those guys. But anyway, enough hockey talk. So
I mean, it's playoff season all around, because
it is playoff season.
It is playoff season.
It's October. MLB's just getting into the postseason.
I mean, it's actually September 28th, but thank you for that.
October is coming up, and
it's just like Game of Thrones. Winter is coming.
Oh yeah. Winter is coming.
I will say real quick before we get into this, my line is always, you have a good day out there, and you get hot or cold. It's either, like we said, death and sadness, or bliss and joy. So
all right. Oh yeah.
What did you guys always say if the answer was cold? If it was oh, I played awful. So my backup, I would always ask, oh, how'd it go out there? And then if it was oh, I played terrible, it was, oh, well, at least did you have fun? And that's kind of another one where it's like half the time it's no, half the time it's yes. And if it was ever a no, I didn't get no's very often, but if it was ever a no, I think I walked upstairs and like told the bartender to give that guy like a free beer or something. Like
my go-to is always either it's either, well, do you guys have a good time? That's either that one, or if it's like a really funny crew of guys, I'll be like, bro, story of my life. Or
right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Things like that to kind of be like, dude, we all suck at golf. It's fine.
I mean, I'll either go, well, at least did you have fun? or hey, we all have those days. I can relate. Or another one that's kind of funny is, all right, cool. So see you same time next week. You know,
That's
so
a
like,
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
that's
like,
a really
That's
or
a
good
like,
good
all
one,
right,
too.
so I'll catch you on the range when I'm off, kind of deal.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So yeah, it is playoff season. Now hockey's over. And I don't
Hockey's
know when it's
over.
coming back. Now we have basketball. Our Lakers are playing the Miami Heat. RIP to Nico Celtics.
RIP to the Celtics. I was watching the game. I think that was last night. I was watching the game last night. Tie game with, a couple of minutes left. It was looking real promising. And then the Celtics just didn't score anything for a full minute and ended up being down by 15 at one point, and we lost 125 to 113, whatever it was. So it was a bit of a disappointing end of the fourth quarter. We looked pretty promising. I thought it was at least gonna get to Game 7. I thought that would have been cool for us to kind of battle back from 3-1 to get to Game 7, but didn't end up working that way. Congrats to the Heat. I hope the Heat win in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Lakers are destined to win this year. This is a team of destiny with the death of Kobe, with LeBron playing like he's playing.
Dude, LeBron is playing lights out right now.
It is the team of destiny.
Nico, this is super controversial, but Nico the other day said, "Do you think that the NBA rigged the system so that the Lakers can win?"
I was just going to say that.
I mean, it's a good question. It's a legitimate question.
I was just going to say that. RIP to Kobe. It's a terrible situation. If the Lakers did win, it would be a fantastic story.
In the Mamba jerseys? Oh, my gosh.
The Mamba jerseys. With the success that they're having, my roommate, Tyler, he posed the question to me the first couple of weeks that we were here. He was like, the Lakers are going to win the NBA Finals. I was like, how do you know that? He was like, dude, come on. With Kobe dying, like having the Lakers win the NBA Finals after not even getting to the NBA Finals in 10 years, and they didn't even make playoffs last year. Are you kidding me? They're totally going to win the NBA Finals.
They want it, man.
And I thought
I
sat and I thought, oh, they totally want it, and they're such a good team. I'm not knocking anything from that. But it is always curious to me, is it kind of one of those situations where the refs are kind of told like, hey, like give a couple of extra penalties to the Lakers so they get some more free throws so they get a better chance of winning that game? I'm not saying they can completely rig it, but give the Lakers a little bit more opportunity here.
It could be a situation like that. I don't
want to think like that. I don't want to think that the NBA is rigging it. I feel like that's in their head. They're like, all right, let's win this for Mamba. Let's do this.
It's not like they're banging on trash cans or anything.
Oh, no. Don't get me started on beating on trash cans, dude.
So, another one of the freshmen that's on the golf team, his name is Ty. He lives next door to me. He is from Houston. Oof. He's an Astros fan.
Tough place to
be. We roast him like all the time. Our coach even roasts him all the time for just being a fan of cheaters.
And he's also a fan of the Texans, probably, right?
He's a fan of the Houston Texans.
He's living the worst life of all time. Oh my gosh.
He does. He's living a pretty rough life, but I mean, we roast him nonstop about how the Houston Astros are just cheaters.
That's funny because one of my I don't know what class is for, but my sister's teacher. So most of my teachers are teaching out of their classroom, so they're going to school and they have their Zoom and they have their class set up, whatever. So one of my sister's teachers, I know. One of my sister's teachers has a Houston Astros poster or something behind her so it's visible. First day of school, she goes, look, yes, I'm a Houston Astros fan. No, yes, I'll take all the hate. No, I'm not going to stop loving them. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, so what you're saying is they cheated and you're okay with that? What?
Yikes.
That doesn't make sense. I mean, as a diehard Dodger fan, they are the bottom of my liking.
I bet you.
I would hope so.
I bet you.
I would hope so.
You know the story about the turtle and the rabbit?
Yeah.
I feel like if the rabbit would have turned the turtle the other way, your teacher would be a huge fan of the rabbit.
Oh yeah.
At this rate.
Oh yeah. You mean are you talking about the tortoise and the frog? Or the tortoise and the hare?
Tortoise and the hare.
The tortoise and the hare. Also, okay, that story.
He was close.
That story is so dumb. You want to know why? Do you know how the moral of the story is slow and steady wins the race or whatever? It's not true. It doesn't. Going fast wins the race. You want to know what loses the race? Falling asleep next to the finish line. Like
That's true. That's
You got a
true.
point.
the Hare had every right to win that race because he was better. He probably trained more. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
He
saying-
trained more.
I don't know. He was
This guy was
faster,
hitting the
and
gym
he got
every
cocky.
day.
It's not slow and if you go slow and steady, you're gonna lose. Just don't
This
fall
Hare
asleep at the
was
finish
doing
line.
the leg presses. He was doing the
Yeah,
100-meter
exactly.
sprints.
He was getting
He was
swole.
He was putting in the work. He was putting in the work on the track. He was like, "I'm gonna beat this tortoise in this race."
Yeah.
And
He was
just
he was
I mean, the whole thing is slow and steady wins the race. Really, the moral of that story is don't be arrogant.
yeah.
Sure, but it's
That's
also
They could've
don't
said
be
that.
funny
That's the-
falling asleep in
That's
a
the
race.
real. That's the right. But that's arrogance. That's out of arrogance. You know, he knew he was going to win that race, so he said, "Oh, I'll just sit here." Ends up falling asleep. That's arrogance. So the real moral of that story is don't be arrogant. Not slow and steady wins the race.
I mean, I guess that's fair, but still, it's not slow and steady. We can all agree on that, right? It's slow and steady
Yeah.
does not win anything.
No, it is
Gets you a
not
fat
slow and
L.
steady wins the race.
That is
Oh,
very
man.
true.
So okay,
You're
so I have
gonna
a
finish,
I have a
you're gonna
follow-
finish like Tiger Woods finished at the Genesis Open, dead last.
That's right. He gets a
75,
TFL award,
76 on the
dead
weekend.
freaking last.
Oh
75,
yeah.
76 on the weekend, but we did see him hit that bunker shot for par
Dude,
on 17.
I
which
have
was
a
Oh.
video. We were in.
I
we were
have
like
that video in my phone.
Yeah, we were in the tent, and it
Yeah.
was the wildest scene I've ever been in my life. One of
So
at least.
yeah, around that
Oh,
hole.
God.
That was the
They
that was
have-
the first shot that we saw there too. That was the very
Oh,
first
yeah.
shot.
Yeah, we rolled in. And
So
like,
we didn't even know that was for par. We thought that was for birdie or eagle or something.
And he was
we
looking
didn't
to
make a
even know it was
charge.
for par.
So if you don't know what happens around 16, a bunch of companies
17.
have, or 17, sorry.
17.
A bunch of companies have these tents. So you can either pre-order your tickets and you go, and I'd say there's about 4 or 5 around this green. And one of them happens to be owned by City, or like City rents it out. So my dad being a Costco card holder, and they
A
have
City
partnered
card
with
holder.
the City card, but it's with Costco.
oh, okay.
We got to go there. So it's completely full. I mean, we could barely find a seat. We're standing in the back as Tiger's coming through. Of course, everybody wants to watch Tiger. And so we're kind of standing there, and he's in this bunker. He's up in the lip. He's like just under the lip. So tough shot. And I relive that moment every time I go through my camera roll. I mean, I see that ball kind of trickle in. That's
Well,
crazy, dude.
He
That was a
duffs
crazy
the first
shot.
one, like you
Yeah.
and I would, like rolls right back to his feet, and then he freaking holes it right there, and everyone goes absolutely bananas, and it's the wildest scene of all time. It was crazy.
It was electric. It was truly electric.
So okay, I have this in the doc. If you
Yeah.
listen to last podcast, you know that there's a very big nationwide controversy about chicken wings. That
Chicken wings.
I think the ratio should be 50-50. We called the little drumstick things little drumsticks. We didn't think they were wings. They are part of the chicken wing.
I knew that they had to be, but I just didn't know what to call them.
There's the wingette, which you know how your arm has like the little joint and it moves. You have two parts to your arm. Same deal with chickens, apparently. So like,
They have joints
part with
too.
the two bones. Yes.
All right, we're going into chicken anatomy. Cam,
chicken
hit us with it.
So they have the one with the two bones is the higher one. That's like they call it the wingette. Okay. And then the other one's the drumette.
That's the two bones.
Yeah, which I think there should be more of because they're delicious. Not that the drumettes aren't delicious, but they're not
Too
mini
much work.
drumsticks. They are drumettes.
Too much work.
So
I mean, you have the two little bones, and you're already using your fingers enough.
they are a lot of work.
You
I
have
will say that.
You have to like either rip it out, or you have to push in the meat from under, or you got to stick your tongue in between it and trying to just push it out. It's a lot of
Little
work.
maneuver, the tongue maneuver. It's a big move.
And if you're going and getting some mediocre wings, it's a lot of work for nothing. Let's be real. We've all had some pretty bad wings, and you're just not satisfied with it.
Not at B-Dubs though. B-Dubs wings slap.
B-Dubs wings
So
do slap.
There's a place here in a little kind of in Oklahoma. It's in Owasso. It's like 20 minutes away from here in Claremore.
Wasu.
It's called Wings to Go. It's called Wings to Go, and Wings to Go is a pretty good wing place that we've been to a couple of times now. They have 4 levels of hotness of spiciness for their wing sauces. They have a bunch of other like the teriyaki sauce and all that stuff, but they have 4 levels of like heat. They have hot, they have X hot, and then the 2 hotter ones are called homicide and suicide. And,
Oh,
and
my
I
God.
think it's hilarious. I've had the X hot the last 2 times I've gone there, and if I'm being honest with you, not that hot. So next time we go, I'm getting the homicide. I'm trying the homicide, and then I'm probably going to get the homicide a couple of times before I upgrade myself to the suicide and try the suicide. I don't know what the ratio of suicide is to like the blazing sauce at B-Dubs, but
Yeah.
I struggled with the blazing sauce at B-Dubs
You
when I
did.
tried
I
it. And I
remember
didn't
that.
even try it on I didn't even try it on a wing. I tried it on a fry, and I started like crying and hiccuping. And I had to like go to the bathroom. I went outside. I had to like breathe fresh air. It was bad. So I don't know I don't know how it compares to this suicide sauce at Wings to Go, but I am very curious to try it.
Yeah, when you do that, let us know.
Yes.
Record your
I will-
reaction so we
I
can
will
go
have
and
someone-
post it on our social media for our
Yes.
viewers.
I will
to see,
have
dude.
someone record me eating the suicide wings. Even
Oh,
on
yeah.
the board, it says suicide, and the little caption is only on a dare.
I have a question.
Oh.
I have a question. Which
Yeah,
one?
yes.
So they have to change the name of the wings to the Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. Which one is it, the homicide or the suicide? Because I think we all know that it's definitely the homicide.
100% the homicide.
Yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah.
There is. I think I don't keep up with like I'm not super in the loop on that, but like just from what I've heard, the very little amount that I've heard, there is
It's the
absolutely
homicide.
zero way
It's definitely the
in
homicide.
golf that Jeffrey Epstein actually killed himself. He
There
was
is-
definitely murdered.
No chance, dude. Are you kidding me?
No
I don't want to get too
chance.
conspiratorial here, but this isn't even a conspiracy theory. This is just a fact. Anyway,
Cold hard facts.
yeah. So we can get out of that rabbit hole, or hair hole apparently. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's called a hare, not a rabbit.
It's
Which
called the hare. Well, okay,
It
well,
is the
they're
hare.
2 completely different animals.
They're
Well,
2 completely
not
different things?
completely. Not
Oh
completely.
well.
No, they're not
now I sound like an
completely-
idiot.
No.
Isn't the hare just the male version of the rabbit?
I
Yeah, but
think
there's,
so.
like, male
I think it's kind of
rabbits.
like. I think it's like
Kind
the
of like-
rooster
kind
of
of like a-
kind of.
Kind of like a bull and a cow. It's the same animal, just one of them's the male version.
Yeah, but there's
I think
male
so.
cows
We could be
too.
wrong, though.
Is it there?
I don't know.
I think it's a bull.
This is such a bad question. Are there
I'm
male
not a bio-
cows?
I'm not a biologist. I don't really know the answer to that question. I'm assuming, like, when it comes to like deer, like there's a deer, but the male deer is a buck. Like,
Yeah.
I just think it's all like, you call a cow, but it's all the female cows.
I think
And then all the male
Daniel's
cows
gonna
are actually bulls.
ask Google here. Are there male cows? What a question.
Are there male cows? I think it's the same with rabbits. I think that the hare is just the male version of a rabbit.
Do you got anything? Are cows male? Goodness gracious. The places
Okay.
we can go.
So, lovely Google has helped us out, and it has redirected us to a website called animals.mom.com. And it says, I looked up what is the difference between a cow and a male, a cow and a bull.
There's a lot of different.
And it says, cow may refer to any female of any age, but it is usually used for females.
Yes.
Oh wow. This
Yeah.
is
Yes.
new information.
So the bull is just a male version of the cow.
Yeah.
wow.
Okay, so I
this
was
is
right. I
huge
think it's-
news.
I think it's the same thing with the rabbit. I just think a
It's
hare
gotta
is,
be.
is the male version of a rabbit, which also explains the arrogance in the race.
Yeah, because I mean, as all of us are
Fully
dudes,
explains the arrogance.
I mean, yeah, can't confirm. So let's see, how's school life for everybody? I'm out of school and trying to figure out what that
I
can
am-
do with my life. So this is
I'm very much in school.
So am I.
Oklahoma, we're not very light on the COVID restrictions, but we don't. There are 750,000 total cases in Oklahoma the last time I checked, and that just doesn't warrant me having all online classes. So I have 3 in-person classes. I have 1 online Zoom class, and then 1 online class I just have to do at any point during the week. Everything is good. I just hate college algebra. I just don't. Math is not my strong suit. Never has been my strong suit. I can add numbers and I can subtract them, and that's about where my expertise when it comes to math falls
38
out.
plus 37 is your max. That's your
38
ceiling.
plus 37 being 75 is about my max.
All right.
So yeah, I mean, just I was doing college algebra. I have study hall twice a week for 2 hours on Monday, Wednesday, and I just got back from that, and I was doing college algebra assignment. It was a 20-question college algebra assignment. I did for at least an hour and 15 minutes with someone helping me.
Yikes. I was
bad.
homeschooled and I loved algebra. I did algebra 1 and 2 honors, loved it. I mean, I wasn't unbelievable at it, but it was really fun. I loved my teacher. I loved all the other people that I watched in class because I did it online. But
I feel like
algebra.
math has definitely always been my strong point because I have to see something. If I can see something being done in front of me, I'm a visual learner, right? So if I can see something being done in front of me and I can understand it, and there are like rules to it and there are reasons to it, then, and I can they're like, this is why this happens. Perfect. I can do that. When then you get into English where it's like, okay, well, there are 50 million different rules, but every one of those rules has an exception somewhere in every sentence that you can ever find. I mean, English is the most confusing language
Imagine
ever.
learning English as a second language.
Dude,
That'd be awful.
My parents, my family, my parents' brothers, my parents' sisters, my grandma, I mean, hats off to them because
facts, dude.
That's crazy. I don't
Absolutely
know how
insane. Like the people who know like multiple languages. Well, English is a second languages, but like but like who know like 4 or 5. Like goodness gracious, these people are geniuses.
Yeah.
Some people, man.
I mean,
so the last. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you start early, because science. And early developing brains
because science
can like they absorb more, so it's a lot easier if you start young.
Yeah,
but you have all these people, like my dad came over when he was 18, so not like in prime brain develop like absorption.
Yeah,
but you're still learning and stuff, so it's still tough. English is tough.
Yeah, absolutely. So our last thing on the day, Nico, you take this one. Apparently, it's your true passion.
Oh, Nico has a new true passion.
This is not a new true passion. I've had these opinions for quite some time. I just haven't voiced them as prominently as I will on this very podcast. I'm officially, not officially, but I am a proud member of the Anti-Running Truthers Club. I don't know if that's actually the name of the club. I just know that we are a collection of people from everywhere that believe that running is the most terrible thing you can do, and it sucks for your body, and it is awful. I am a proud member of this collection of people. My mom is a member of the I Love Running Club. She runs all the time. She absolutely loves it. I'll be honest, it is a great workout. It does get you into shape. It's a great version of cardio. But I just think that, running puts strain on your knees and your hips and your back and all. You're not jumping, but just the trotting and stuff just puts constant amounts of pressure and then no pressure in your knees and your ankles and your hips and all that stuff. I think it's maybe one of the worst things you can do for the joints in your lower body. I think it's absolutely horrendous. I've had to start running a little bit for our conditioning workouts for golf, and I've chosen running over sitting on a stationary bike because that's just as bad, just sitting in a room doing absolutely nothing. You're not going anywhere. You're sitting on the bike. So I've been running a little bit, and it's absolutely awful.
Nico, you're 18. You can't be complaining about your hips and your back. You sound like an 80-year-old man, dude.
I'm not complaining. I have an issue with like my left knee sometimes, but I don't have issues with anything else. It's just a matter of I just don't like it. It's not like I'm 18 and I'm having all these issues. I just think that if you're a lifelong runner, it just over time is just going to kill your joints. You're going to be someone who is an 80-year-old man who is just can't walk because your just knees are bad. You're going to get knee replacements. You're going to get hip replacements just because all of that running is just terrible throughout your life. I firmly believe that.
I feel like my hips are too jiggly to run is like a not good argument.
Well,
I was running. I'm not saying that.
That is not what I said. That's not what I said.
Okay. That's a fair point.
Jiggly.
So I used to be in the anti-running truthers club. As you guys know, not the listeners. Listeners, new information. I have a heart condition, so I can't go above like 140. I have a medication that keeps me down. But anyway, so I was an anti-running guy. I hated it. It was the worst thing of all time. I had to go in to the doctor like every 6 months or a year to do these treadmill tests to like do this stuff, and I hated it. It was the worst. So then quarantine happened, and
lovely quarantine.
I picked up this thing called running, and I did like half a mile, and I was dead. And then the next day I did a mile, and the next day I did a mile and a half, and the next 2 miles, and then 2.5. You get the point. I'm up to where I'm like running 4 miles, and it is the most euphoric thing in the world when you get home. And I've now joined your mother's club of the I Love Running Club because running is awesome.
So
running sucks.
I'm on both sides of the spectrum.
You can't be on both. You have to pick one.
No, okay, no,
like
I can't be on both
Daniel.
sides. No, whoa, no, I can't be on both sides. When it comes to running on a treadmill, it is the worst. Like you said, like with the stationary bike, treadmill you're not going anywhere. You're not doing anything. Then again, running is great when you're going somewhere. Let's say you're going on a hike, middle of Yosemite. You have the trees, you have the water running. It is gorgeous. Perfect running conditions.
Fresh air, the sun's out, guns out. It's
sun's out, guns
unbelievable.
Out. You're getting all your hamstrings, everything's getting engaged. That's just energy flowing, dude.
Look, I don't deny that running can be good for you, but I just think it's an awful exercise. I don't understand why people love it so much. I really don't. I can't do it. I feel like I'm going to become a runner at some point just because I have to be for golf, but I'm not going to enjoy it at all.
Lifting's better.
Nico's just a hardo in the gym. Just
as much as I love this topic of running, we'll move on. I want to do a quick fantasy football recap for the week.
Absolutely, just super quick.
The Monday night game just finished. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens. So let's go over some fantasy football stuff. High scorer of the week was unfortunately my opponent. He scored 191.1 points, and I scored 145.6. I got
Russell Wilson was cooking. Goodness, Gordon Ramsay in there, man.
Russell Wilson went and he threw one pick the whole game. He scored 55.2 points.
350 yards and 5 touchdowns. He is on pace right now. He is on pace right now for 75 touchdowns this year.
That's insane. That is absolutely preposterous.
74.7, 75 touchdowns this year.
That is absolutely preposterous. I would like to say that my quarterback, Deshaun Watson, scored 24 points in the first half and then got shut out to 2.5 points in the second half. So I thought he was going to have the first good week of the year, and he did not. But the person who did have his first good week of the year was Derrick Henry, who finally did something and got more than 10 points. He scored 27 points on 119 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 11 receptions. He had 2 receptions for 11 yards and 119 rushing yards.
Derrick
so
Henry
he was the guy that he was the guy who kind of, I was happy seeing him finally do something. Daniel, you lost in tremendous fashion to Lewis, who also works at DeBell. You lost 179.5 to 113.5. And Cam, you lost tonight as well.
It was
to,
a very tough week.
to team
to
team Jason Snow, who
will go
actually
1
is
in
also
15
a
this
former
season.
employee.
He will go 1 in 15. This
this
will be his
season.
only win.
Oh, yeah.
And here's why. My team
Yes.
is literally the San Francisco 49ers right now. I have
all of your players are
I've
injured.
had 6. So, okay. 5 of my starters are injured. And I had my favorite guy coming into this year, Blake Jarwin, get injured on a non-contact injury in the first game. So right now, my roster looks like Christian McCaffrey, Jameson Crowder, Raheem Mostert, AJ Brown, and now Chris Godwin's hurt again.
I mean,
as well
I got blown out
and
of
Russell
the water.
Gage got hurt too. So it's been a fantastic season for me.
I got blown out of the water.
In my other league, I did get a dub. Hakunama touchdown. Finally got a win after going
new name Hakunama touchdown. New name Hakunama touchdown.
I have my guy, my favorite quarterback in the NFL, Kyler Murray of the awesome possum Arizona Cardinals. Hello, my name is Cam, and I'm from Arizona, if you didn't know. One of my 3 NFL teams, the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray, stud, 3 touchdowns, 270 yards. He's a rookie. But it's fine. And I also had Deontay Johnson, who got a concussion and goosed, and Chris Carson, who got hurt on a ridiculous play. On that league, I also had Saquon Barkley out for season, Le'Veon Bell on IR, DJ Chark was out this week, but I still won by 20 points over Lou. Or no, 25 points over Lou. So it was a solid week.
I'll give an update in my other fantasy league as well. I did officially change my name from Make Football Great Again to Keep Football Great.
Attaboy.
Oh yeah.
I won this week in tremendous fashion, 160.52 to 94.4. So I absolutely roasted whoever I'm playing.
Who was your first round pick in that league?
I believe my first round pick was either Aaron Jones or Dalvin Cook. I think it was.
Oh,
Dalvin Cook.
Were you late first round?
I was 6.
Yeah. How many people in the league?
10.
That's a pretty solid spot to be. I wanted to be at the end of the draft in every league this year because I wanted to get do a Jacobs Jones stack, or get 2 stud running backs, and I got first and second in both of my leagues. So
I would like to say that in my Keep Football Great Again league, my other league that I don't care as much about, I did have Tyler Lockett, who had himself one hell of a week. 9 receptions for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. He scored 37 points.
I had
in
a
the
thought
first half.
for a
He scored
second.
37 points.
I was like, oh my gosh, is this guy going to have 6 touchdowns this game if Russ is just cooking and he's – oh my – I mean, that was a wild game, that Cowboys-Seahawks game. Oh my God.
Yeah, so up and down week for everybody in fantasy this week.
Absolutely.
It's been a rough fantasy season so far, but I have a feeling that things are going to start shaping up, and some of the sleepers and some of the dark horses that we got on our benches are going to start playing well.
I picked up James Robinson as a free agent before any game started because I was hearing the buzz out of training camp that he was the guy. And I'm doing a victory lap now because he scored 30 points, and I started him in both my leagues, and he's looking like a guy who is potentially a league winner. So I feel good.
I will also say this for anyone who takes fantasy football advice from this podcast. As the podcast's resident Patriots fan, I would I would advise you to not pick up Rex Burkhead off the waiver wire because he is for sure on your waiver wire. Do not pick him up.
There's a reason he's on waivers.
He will not have a good week next week. That's just the Patriots' MO. He gets some touchdowns one week. He does not get touchdowns other week. That is Rex Burkhead's MO. That's the Patriots' MO. Do not pick up Rex Burkhead.
As far away from the Patriots' backfield as you can. It's the same with the Giants.
Far away.
The Giants and the Patriots run the opposite direction from both of them and just never look back. Like Sodom and Gomorrah. Just go. Just run.
Just run away. But what you should not run away from is you should not run away from episode 2 of this podcast, which will come out next Tuesday. Stay tuned for that.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it. We'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday, and tip your cart, boys.
That's right. Don't forget, tip your cart, guys.
Tip your cart, guys.
Take it easy, everyone.
Thank you for listening to Chili Dippin', a podcast about golf and stuff. You can find us on social media at Chili Dipping Pod. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube with new episodes every Tuesday.